First, let's talk about strength. A tiny ant, weighing less than 5 milligrams, can lift objects 10, even 50 times its own body weight. That means if you weighed 60 kilos, you'd be casually lifting a 3-ton truck. Humans would need decades in the gym, or a crane, to do that. For ants, it's just daily life. This incredible power made scientists wonder, how can such a small creature be so strong? The answer lies in their body structure. Ant muscles, relative to size, are extremely powerful, and gravity affects them far less than larger creatures. The smaller you are, the stronger you can be. But individual strength is just a small part. What truly makes ants remarkable is teamwork. When an ant finds food, it doesn't keep it to itself. It releases pheromones, a special chemical, to mark the path. Others follow the scent, turning a single trail into a flowing highway. If you spill a drop of soda on the ground, within minutes, you'll witness an entire avenue of ants. There's a fascinating experiment. Scientists placed an object too heavy for a single ant. At first, it struggled, then gave up, but minutes later, it returned with reinforcements. Dozens of ants worked together, and eventually, the object moved. The lesson? Ants never give up alone. If one can't do it, the colony will. An ant colony is never chaotic. On the contrary, it operates like a pre-programmed machine. There are workers, collecting food, feeding larvae, building nests. There are soldiers, larger, stronger, defending the territory, ready to sacrifice when attacked. And of course, the queen, constantly reproducing, ensuring survival. What's special is that no one needs to give orders. There's no leader shouting commands. Everything runs on instinct and chemical signals. Yet millions of individuals coordinate flawlessly. Like a miniature, perfect society. In fact, some species of ants even enslave others. They invade weaker colonies, capture worker ants, and force them into labor. A tiny society, but with labor, warfare, and even politics. If you block an ant's path, it will struggle to get through. If it can't, it simply turns another way. For ants, failure isn't an end, it's just a detour. That's why ants have existed for over 100 million years. They survived the extinction of dinosaurs, harsh climate shifts, and today, there are an estimated 20 quadrillion ants on Earth. In fact, if you weighed all the ants combined, their total mass would outweigh that of all humans. From ants, we can learn so much. Perseverance, because no trail is built in a day. Discipline, because every individual knows its role. And teamwork, because one ant is fragile, but a colony is unstoppable. In human society, we often forget the value of collaboration. We chase personal gain, exhausting ourselves in competition. But ants remind us, no one can do everything alone. True success comes from cooperation and sharing. From ants, we can learn so much. Perseverance, because no trail is built in a day. Discipline, because every individual knows its role. And teamwork, because one ant is fragile, but a colony is unstoppable. In human society, we often forget the value of collaboration. We chase personal gain, exhausting ourselves in competition. But ants remind us, no one can do everything alone. True success comes from cooperation and sharing. So next time you see an ant crawling across your desk, slow down a little. Don't just see it as a tiny insect. Remember, it's a symbol of strength, of discipline, and of teamwork, values that humans sometimes forget. And that's the end of today's story about ants. If you found it interesting and learned something from this tiny world, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps me share more stories with you. Thank you for watching until the end, and see you again in the next journey.